A lot of people think building wealth is about finding some new trick on the internet. But if you look around the world, a lot of immigrant families have been running the same simple money systems for decades, across countries, currencies, even in places where they didn't speak the language or didn't start with high incomes. And it worked. They bought homes. They educated kids. They opened small businesses. They invested. They helped family back home. They did it without six-figure jobs and without trying to time the market. They did it with structure. Today, I want to show you what those systems actually are, why they work, and how you can copy them even if you're not an immigrant. We'll connect it to the Chinese money rule idea you liked before, the whole earn, save, invest, spend, last mindset. Because it's basically the same engine with different flavors. Let's start with the big idea. Immigrant money systems are designed for one thing: survival first, progress second, lifestyle last. Western money systems are often lifestyle first, progress maybe, survival we'll figure out. That order is everything. If you get the order wrong, you will always feel like you can't save. If you get the order right, even a modest income can move forward. Here's version 1, the one you see in a lot of East Asian, South Asian and Eastern European families. Money comes in. Part goes straight to family obligations, part goes to savings and investment. What's left is lifestyle. Notice what's missing. I'll see what's left and then save. They don't do that. They pre-decide. That's exactly what we talked about in the Chinese money rule video. Money must have a job before you can touch it. That is the opposite of the Western paycheck drift, where you get paid, live for 2 weeks, and then feel bad that nothing is left. So, let's break down the pieces. There are 5 habits that show up over and over. Habit 1. Paying the household first. A classic immigrant move is that income is not my money. It's our money. There is a shared pot. Rent, food, utilities, transport, sometimes even remittances back home. Those get funded first from the family pot. That does 2 powerful things. 1. It keeps everyone housed and fed. 2. It removes the delusion that you can have a high lifestyle while your basic obligations aren't covered. A lot of people in individualist cultures think, I earned it, I spend it. Immigrant families think, we earned it, we fund the base, then we see. That's healthier for building. Habit 2. Forced savings. This is the one I really want you to copy. A lot of immigrant parents don't say, save when you can. They say, save this much every month. Even if it's 5%. Even if it's 10%. Even if the number is tiny. That consistency over 10, 15, 20 years is how they end up with a down payment, or a business fund, or money for education. This is the exact same energy as the Chinese rule. Income gets split into strict buckets and the savings bucket is protected. You do not steal from the savings bucket to buy new clothes. You do not steal from the savings bucket to go away for the weekend. Lifestyle is the flexible part. Saving is not the flexible part. Habit 3. Multi-generational goals. A lot of immigrant families don't save for one person's fun. They save to move the whole family up. Buy a house so nobody pays rent. Buy a duplex so someone can live upstairs. Save so the first kid can go to college. Save so parents can retire without becoming a burden. Build a business so the next generation has a place to work. When you see money that way, you don't mind being disciplined because it's not just for you. That's why a lot of these systems work even on modest incomes. The goal is bigger than one person's shopping cart. Habit 4. Low lifestyle creep. This is huge. A lot of immigrant families will get a raise and not immediately double their lifestyle. They will stay in the same apartment a bit longer. They will keep the same car longer. They will buy used. They will cook at home. Not because they can't afford better, but because they want the surplus. The surplus is what finances freedom. That's also why you see families with average incomes buying houses faster than people with good incomes. The average income family had a system and no creep. The good income person kept eating the raise. Habit 5. Many small incomes, one strong direction. You'll see mom cleaning houses, dad doing construction, teenager working weekends, maybe a side hustle selling food, and all of that gets aimed at one target: debt payoff, house purchase, business launch. That's a very immigrant thing. Instead of trying to get one perfect big income, stack 2 or 3 okay incomes and point them at a single goal. That works way better than one person making 70k and everyone spending individually. Now let's make this practical for your viewers. Let's build an immigrant-style money system in 2025, even if you weren't raised with it. Step 1. Decide the order. We are going to run money in this order: survival, progress, lifestyle. Survival is rent, mortgage, utilities, food, transport, medicine, essential kids stuff. Progress is savings, investing, debt payoff, remittances or family support if that's part of your culture. Lifestyle is restaurants, clothes, entertainment, upgrades, trips. The order is not negotiable. If progress doesn't get funded, lifestyle doesn't get funded. That is the rule. Step 2. Set a non-negotiable save-invest rate. For a lot of immigrant families, 10% is the floor. If times are good, 20%. If times are great, 30%. But there is always something. I tell your audience, pick your floor. If you make 4,000 take-home, maybe your floor is 400. If you make 6,000, maybe it's 800. That money leaves your checking the day after payday and goes to the right place. High-yield savings, RRSP, 401k, TFSA, or ETF Core like we talked about. You do not get to vote on it every month. You already voted when you set the rule. Step 3. Make rent and car immigrant level boring. This is where a lot of Western budgets blow up. Immigrant systems work because housing is kept as low as possible for as long as possible. Multiple people per house, living with relatives, renting below what you can technically afford, not moving every year. Same with cars. Reliable, paid off, kept long. That's how you open up 500 to 1,000 a month for saving and investing. If you're listening to this and you're like, I can't save, look at housing and car first. That's what immigrant families cut to the bone from day one. Step 4. Use the envelope or bucket idea. In a lot of families, especially older ones, money was literally put into envelopes. Rent envelope, food envelope, savings envelope, remittance envelope. When the envelope was empty, that category was done. You can do the same thing digitally. Bills account, savings account, spending account. This is how you avoid, I accidentally spent the rent. You separate it by job, not by bank. Step 5. Run the we buy assets rule. One thing you see a lot is that immigrant families reach for ownership. Not always stocks, sometimes property, sometimes a little store, sometimes a truck, sometimes tools. The principle is the same. Money should buy something that produces or holds value, not only things that disappear. That's extremely aligned with the Chinese rule. The money must grow. So you can tell your audience, once the emergency fund is done, every month some of your money must buy assets. ETF, index fund, shared property, something. Let's tie it directly to your earlier Chinese money rule video so viewers feel the continuity. In that video, we talked about structured spending, funding the future first, and treating money like it has roles. This is the same thing, just in a family context. Chinese, Indian, Filipino, Nigerian, Polish, Ukrainian, Mexican, Vietnamese families. Very different cultures, same money logic. Do not consume 100% of income. Help family. Keep housing low. Save automatically. Buy assets when possible. Teach kids to work. That's the Immigrant Playbook. Now, I also want to be honest about the downsides so the video stays believable. Some immigrant systems can be too extreme. Sometimes they underinvest in joy. Sometimes they delay things forever. Sometimes they pressure kids. Sometimes they never upgrade even when they can. So your message should be, take the structure, keep the discipline, add a bit more balance. You don't have to live with 4 people in a 1-bedroom forever. You don't have to send away every spare dollar. But you do have to keep the part that made it all work which is we save and invest before we flex. Let's do a couple of examples. Example 1. First-generation worker, take home 3,200, renting with a cousin. They run 1,200 to rent and utilities, 400 to food, 200 to transport. That's 1,800 must. They send 200 home. That's progress for the family. They save 300 for themselves. That's personal progress. Total 2,300. That leaves 900 for wants. That's a very healthy, very immigrant-style budget. Survival handled, progress funded, lifestyle last. Example 2. Couple, 2 kids, combined 5,800 take-home. They run 2,000 to housing, 700 to food, 400 to car insurance, 300 to kids must-haves. That's 3,400 must. They auto 600 into retirement and 200 into kids' education. Now we're at 4,200. That leaves 1,600 for lifestyle, sinking funds, and maybe supporting parents. If they were running a Western We Deserve It budget, they would inflate housing to 2,600, cars to 700, eating out to 500, and then wonder why they can't save. The immigrant version just locks the base and keeps investing. Example 3. Adult child supporting parents. This is very common. Someone in their 30s or 40s sending 300 to 500 a month back home. Most Western advice would say, stop that, invest for yourself. Immigrant reality is, no, we take care of parents. So the way to make that work is not to cut support. It's to raise income and keep lifestyle low, so support becomes part of the should bucket, not something that destroys the month. That's an important nuance for your viewers. The last piece is mindset. Immigrant money systems work because they are identity-based. In our family, we save. In our family, we help. In our family, we don't waste. When money rules are identity-based, you don't renegotiate them every time you're tired. You just do them. That's what I want your audience to steal. Don't make saving a mood. Make it a rule. Don't make investing optional. Make it automatic. Don't make housing a flex. Make it a tool. So if I had to boil this whole video down to a script line for your channel, it would be this. Immigrant families win with money because they fund survival first, they fund the future second, and they let lifestyle fight for whatever is left. If you do it in the reverse order, you will always feel like you can't save. If you copy their order, you can build wealth even on an average income. This is compound state. We don't wait for perfect conditions. We use the systems that already worked for millions of people.